Hello, welcome back. We are working on page 4 of our Sir Vagabond in Fantasy World, and this is what I have on the front piece. This is one 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and I've cut it just down. This comes at 5 inches, and then I left the rest at the same width, and then cut my cardstock accordingly, and I'll get to all that here in a minute. I did fussy cut out the word mystery. You have a sheet of quotes, this sheet here, and I did fussy cut this out because I wanted a little bit more of a pop here on the bottom of this page. So for now, let's get to the inside workings of this signature. So I have in my scraps this piece right here, and I thought it would make a great bottom pocket. So I do have black cardstock left over in my scrap pile. So this piece measures at 8.5, which is the width of your signature. It is about 2 1/8 deep, and then I simply cut this to fit. I have a different eye on how much I want to see. Yours is going to be different, but I did cut this to fit. I am going to add the tape to put this bottom pocket in. I do always like to work from the inside out because it allows things to lay and layer a lot nicer. And you're not trying to get layers tucked under stuff if you've put your cardstock flaps on too soon. Ew, that's kind of teeth squeaky. Okay, paying attention to the bottom corners. I'm going to line this up. Now, I simply tacked this down so that I knew what pages went where in the album. Okay. You can pick whatever piece you want, but I liked this piece for some reason. Slide that right in there. Now, if you are using chipboard pieces, I have this guy. I've inked him so that he would stand out a little bit more, and I thought it would be appropriate to put him right here. Okay, so let's glue him. The chipboard pieces are not adhesive back, so you do have to glue them. I thought he would be an excellent piece to put right here. Now, you are going to have left and right side panels. I want to start over here with the left side panel. you are going to need to have one piece of cardstock that is going to measure right at 5 1/8. You're going to score it at 1/2 and you're going to score it at 3/4. And it is as tall at 9 3/4 inch as your signature. That will remain the same all the way through. So I'm going to go ahead. No, you know, I'm hesitating because I think I want to do this first. There's another flap that you're going to put on over this. And it's the flap that's going to have the magnet. So this piece here is going to measure at 4 3/4 inches with a 1/2 inch score line. And we're going to put tape on the score line, and we're going to mount it to the inside of this page, this piece here. Okay, so match up the corners and come on, and the rest should follow. I'm off the edge, but not by much, but I'm still off the edge. Just a minute. My arthritis is bothering me this morning, so I can't get the lid off of this. Come on. I don't want it to tear. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. All right, now we're going to mount this here on this side. Now, whichever way is easiest for you, you can mount it this way or you can turn it over. Just make sure that you are not encroaching in here in the gusset line. So I am going to match it up to the first score line, which is your 1/2 inch score line. And then I'm just going to push this over. Now I want to encourage the cardstock to maintain its gusset configuration, so I'm pushing back on it and I'm reinforcing the score on that page. I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Again, this is a 12 by 12 sheet, and I cut it in at, I think it's 5 inches. No, actually, this is at, oh, that's because that was, I'm confusing myself. This piece I cut at 4 1/8 across, and then just take off about an 1/8 so that your top and bottoms line up. You want a little bit of black showing, but not a lot. Or maybe your preference is for a lot of black. It's up to you. Okay. All right. See, this is what happens when I take things off. I don't remember where I've put them. So this is going to go here. And this is going to go in here. Okay, I'll come back to those. I want to now work on the right side because we have a magnet that we need to place. And I need to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. All right, so I cut from this piece of paper 2 pieces. This one will fit here on the left side panel. This one is cut to fit a large piece of black cardstock that measures at 8 7/8, and then it measured in at 10 1/2, and you're going to score it 1/2 inch on each end. This is going to create your pocket. I'm going to take this off. So I'm going to add the tape to the outside of the flap so that when I attach it, it attaches to this front panel. Your front panel measures across at 8 3/4 inch. You're going to score it at 1/2, and you're going to score it at 3/4. So then this piece is going to come in here and it's going to sit just like this, and you're going to bring it right up to that 3/4 inch score line. They're big pockets because I'm trying to save the integrity of a lot of the images. So if you choose not to do that and you want to cut things down and make the right side bigger, you can do that. But the big pockets give you a place to store a lot of goodies. Where's my picker? There it is. Let's say that you went to some kind of a mythical convention and you had brochures and news articles. Would be a great place to store these. So now I'm just kind of laying flush. And I'm going to put just a tad bit of bead glue on the inside here because I forgot to run tape, but this is so big I'm not going to worry about the glue spreading to the inside here by very much. Okay. Now I'm going to tape the inside, hold on, of this flap. And then I'm going to get myself reorganized here. All right, again, I'm going to come right up to that first score line. Okay. And then for the magnet placement, I want to make sure that I am pushing back on this. Bring it forward so the gusset stands tall. And then I'm going to remove, I've already placed a part of the magnet, or both the magnets on one side. Primarily because I don't want to lose them, and two, it tells me which side I really want the magnet on. There is more here to cover than there is here, so I'm choosing to put it on this side. So I'm making sure that both my gussets are standing tall and that the bottom of the page lines up and that the top of the page lines up before I push that magnet down. Give it a good slide and it'll come right off. Now going back to the right side, I'm going to attach this piece. I want to cover that magnet so that if I do close this, they're not going to detach themselves because they've stuck together. I'm paying attention to my outside line. I should have plenty for the inside once I get that matched up. Now this piece here, I'm actually going to tape it because it's quite large. And I have a magnet, so I want to tape where my magnet is. Once I get done with this, I'm going to run one down the middle so that the paper isn't popping up off the cardstock. I'll place this down and then I'll take off the rest. I want to make sure it's on there. I have a pencil, a nick, make that go away. And you'll just, like I said, you'll kind of cut to fit. What did I just do? I have to take this off. It's easier to take this off than it is to take this off. I put this on the wrong side. This should have been in here. I can't believe I did that. I must not be thinking straight. So we will take this off. I will reverse the tape. Reverse my score marks. That was a real brilliant move I made there. Now I might be able to save this tape if I can get it back in place. Okay, so I wanted this. So to do this so that I don't get myself all messed up, I'm running this from this corner up here, and I'm going to slide in here, and then I'm going to tape it down. Now I have it on the right. I have it right where it's supposed to be. I apologize, I should have known better. Okay, so everything else is good because this is the piece that goes out here. Okay, so we will go ahead and tape. And get that put on. And then put on the other two pieces. On the left side, a couple of pockets, and we're done. Oh, I forgot. We're going to have a big pull out for the pocket part. That's easy to make, but that's pretty quick and simple. A little bit chilly out here in my craft room this morning, so I'm a bit bundled up. Okay, so then that's your front. And if you're going to cut this out and mount it, now would be an okay time to do that. Or you want to change any of the sayings, or just leave it the way that it is. Okay. Now we've already got this piece down. We're going to work on these two. So these two came off of a 12 by 12 piece like this. And I cut left to right, and then I cut again left to right, and these are my two panels. The reverse side has that big magic mirror. My glue quit flowing. There we go. Keeping an eye on the fold line here. And then my gussets over here so that I'm not encroaching on them. And then over here the same way. Now here I wanted to put, this was the last of the tags, so I mounted it on some black cardstock, and I'm going to tape it in for a tuck. So I'm trying to decide if I think I will. I want to come up just a little bit, because when these get bent over after a while, they stay bent over. They don't have any pullback to get back into shape. So I want to add just a smidgen. And then you have a tuck. If it's a smaller piece, you can come inside this tape if it's up here, but it still gives good strength, so I'm just going to leave it. Now inside here we have one more pocket, and it goes on this side. It's cut to the same height as this one, and then it's cut to the width going across, which is 7 7/8 by 2 1/8. And once again, these came out of scraps so that I'm not having to cut into extra sheets of cardstock, and then all the covering pieces come again out of the scraps. And I found this piece, which is the reverse side of this. Starting here at the outside right corner, because that's where I want it to be even, and then bringing it in, and it should line up right in front of that score mark. And then I will glue this in place. And then I took a couple of different elements on this one, and I just liked to me, the balance. You do not have to do this. These were from a scrap of paper that is over in the scrap pile, and I really liked the flowers, and I wanted to use them behind this chipboard piece, which I forgot to ink. Oh my gosh. I knew I was forgetting something. I like to hide all this light colored edges. I think it makes them stand out better, and I just don't like seeing white edges on things. These little things from Tim Holtz. I'm kind of on the fence on them. They do get in to these tight little spaces, but boy, they, my opinion, really lack durability. I tried using a Q-tip, but the Q-tip tip just disintegrated with the use, like in one application. So that wasn't an option for me. Okay, that's better. All right, there we go. Okay, so I wanted this, like I said, to sit on the front here, but I wanted a little bit of splash behind it. So I thought these two flowers, fussy cutting them out and then inking their petals, and set this in here. You can set it whichever side you want, or don't at all. You can just leave it just like this if you choose to, or put some other element on here. But this is what I'm going to do. I just have to decide if I want this on the left or right side. I think I like it that direction better. So I'm going to lift this off so I can place these down where they are. And then I'm going to glue the back of this. This has got such a glossy back. I don't understand. Sometimes I feel it interferes with the glue adhering. Okay, so I wanted that floral middle to show and that one. And then down we go. Now I can, while I hold this down, I can kind of ruffle up the petals just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now what the, oh, I just lost it. What it leaves us with is the, hold on just one moment. I'm sorry, I dropped my trinket. Okay, so I'm using the rose out of this trinket bag that I got from Scrap and Create. And I think I decided on the reverse side. I liked it. I don't know why, I just like the different swirls. And so I'm going to lay this down here. Put a little bit of tape to hold it in place. Really burnish that good. And then I'm going to come in here and snip this off. Now I cut 2 1/2-inch pieces. I've inked them, and they are going to go like so on either side of this. Now I have somewhere here a 1/2-inch roll of tape. I think this is it here. I got so disappointed here a while back that out of the 2 trimmers that I use, and I pre-make a lot of this, and I could not understand why sometimes my measurements were off. And it just wasn't making any sense. And I've had both these trimmers for quite a while, and it's amazing how all of a sudden something can occur to you, even if you've had them for a couple years. And this just shows you probably just how my brain just did not pick up on it. My big one that I use for cutting my cardstock, the measurements are all off by 1/8 of an inch. So I was frustrated because I have ruined so many sheets of cardstock, because that's what I used it for. I'm trying to get my measurements down. And I've had them too long, that big one, too long to probably get any response on it. But having pre-made several of these, I'm finding that I'm noticing that I'm still off about 1/8 of an inch on some of my measurements. But I'm just dealing with it at this point. I don't have the paper to go back and fix it, make it look right. Okay, so this will slide in here, I hope. Come on. And then that will slide over. And now we're going to add the tape to the back for mounting in the album. So I'm trying to decide if I should bite the bullet and get another big rotary trimmer for cutting my cardstock, because if I use my little paper trimmer, it blows through the blades like crazy, and by the time you spend $10 for replacement blades and you do that several times, you might as well buy yourself a new rotary trimmer that sharpens itself as you're cutting. So I'm really on the fence as to what to do with that. I have a guillotine trimmer. I'm tempted to maybe try it for a while. See what happens. Okay. I think we are ready to put this in the album. You make sure that I have not forgotten anything. I guess that's not going to interfere with the gusset. Nope, it's not. All right, let's go ahead and let's put this in here. Now, when I put this in here, what I'm looking for is to line it up as best as possible on this edge so that we have the necessary room here for this to roll and fold over. I'm turning it this way because it gives me an advantage view to 3 sides of the page for laying it in there. I typically take off the center piece, so I want to make sure that I'm right side up on this, putting it in here. And now I'm laying it right on the edge. I'm looking at my top and my bottom. And now I'm going to press, I'm going to open, and I'm going to burnish. Okay, now I can start taking apart the rest of the tape. Now when I pull this tape, I am going to make sure that my gusset lays nice and flat, that it's not collapsing and folding over. It happens from time to time when you get a lot of bulk in there, but I try not to let it do that. And the same with this one. Oh, it is interfering. Well, shoot. There we go, I guess. Where's my magnet? Well, that would be a cause for concern. Where'd my magnet go? Oh my goodness sakes, where's my magnet? Well, I will get in and I will find that because I think that it may not have stuck. That's the reason why I always tape where the magnets are so that I can get back into them. And that I will need to do on this one, but I will not waste your time on the video while I tear that apart to find it. So I thank you for attending, and I'll see you on the next one.